Hey all, Eric Stevenson with Cruise and Duo Travel coming at you today. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about Royal Caribbean's newest ship. It's actually a new ship, and it's the first ship in a new class of ships called the Icon class, and the name of the ship is the Icon of the Seas. She's almost ready for us. She's supposed to be sailing, her first passenger sailing will be beginning of 2024. But they've already released a lot of the details and, given us a whole bunch of information about her. And if you've been watching my timeline or my stories today, you'll see, lots of beautiful pictures, and she looks absolutely amazing. Now, for those of you that like to cruise but don't like to cruise on large ships, she might not be for you. She's actually going to be the largest cruise ship in the world when she debuts, beating out one of the other Royal Caribbean ships by a couple of feet. But not only is she the largest ship, but they've actually reimagined a bunch of the areas of the ship and what they're doing and where they're doing it. And I think I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to sailing on her and checking out the new neighborhood and all the new features and how they've redone things. And hopefully you will too. Now, I do like large ships. My wife Cheryl and I, we do like sailing on the larger ships. We've been on, I don't want to say every size ship out there, but we've been on a bunch of different ones. And we agree that on the larger ships, we never feel like we're overcrowded. Even though, yeah, there's 5,000 to 6,000 other people on this ship, customers, guests, not even including the 1,500 or so staff members. But for some reason, and it just, there's so many places to go and so many things to do on board that we never feel like sardines. We had an experience on the Royals Adventure of the Seas a couple years back. We did a New England and Canada itinerary out of North Jersey, New York. I can't even think of the name of the port, but beautiful ship, much smaller than the Icon class or the Oasis class. I want to say she held roughly 3,000 people. But we did this, New England and Canada, and we went to Bahama, Maine, and then we went to up into Canada, and names are escaping right now. But I mean, it was a beautiful cruise, and we had a blast. The challenge was a couple of I think there was 2 days at sea, and both days it was 40-ish degrees, windy and rainy, and so nobody was out on the upper decks. Nobody was at the pool. There even very few people were even in the solarium. So everybody was crowded down on the promenade, down by the casino and in the various bars, and we felt like sardines. We couldn't find seats at the bar. If we wanted to go do, we enjoy doing trivia. So, we wanted to do some of the trivia events, and, an hour before they started, people were already filling up the rooms, so you couldn't get a seat. And trust me, actually, I am kind of complaining, but I don't it's not a reflection on the Adventure or on Royal. It's just, there's a lot of people, and, when you can't go out up on the upper decks, the exposed decks, it gets kind of crowded. But on these big ships, I don't feel that way. I never feel like we're, jammed in and packed in. So anyway, that's why we like the larger ships. Let's talk about the Icon itself. Like I said, she's about to launch in another, give or take a year. They're putting the finishing touches, starting to do sea trials, all that stuff to make sure that she's ready and safe for us. They've got a lot of new features, a lot of new things in it. I'm not going to go through every single one of them because otherwise this video would be 4 hours long. I'm going to try and hit, the big things. She's 20 decks tall, 20 guest decks. They never really talk about the employee decks, but there's 20 guest decks, whereas the Wonder, the predecessor, only has 18. She can handle a max capacity of 7,600 guests. Now wow, Rocco thinks that's a lot. That's not, I mean, that's at full capacity with every room being triples and quads. Double capacity, I want to say it's like 5,300 or 5,400. She has a lot of new things, a lot of re-envisioned things. I'll just kind of go through the list here. First off, there's 23 different food venues on board. That includes, like your burger bar, your taco bar, but that also includes, your main dining rooms and your specialty restaurants, and there are like 23 different places you can go to eat. There's 8 neighborhoods on board instead of the Oasis class had 7 neighborhoods, and the neighborhoods are like Boardwalk and Central Park and those Splash Zone, and each of those they considered a neighborhood. They've added a new neighborhood on this one. This ship has 7 different pools. That doesn't include the water park. The water park, which is they're calling Thrill Island, which is, if you haven't been, that's also part of their Coco Cay, Perfect Day, Coco Cay. They have an area called Thrill Island. Well, now the ship has an area called Thrill Island. 6 different water slides. Yes, you heard me right. 6 different water slides. They also have a new, which I think the number of water slides is a record breaker too. I don't think any other ship has 6 of them. They have a new adrenaline pumping ride called Crown's Edge, where basically you step off the edge of the ship and you're kind of dangling out there over the water. I don't know if you heard my wife in the back row. She's like, yeah, no, that's not for me. I might check it out, but we'll see. I think this might be the first ship that has this. I'm not sure, but they have the Swim and Tonic swim up bar. So now, if you've ever been to an all-inclusive, all the all-inclusives have a swim up bar where you can literally sit in the pool, have a drink at the bar, and chill. Well, now the cruise ship has it too. That's that's next door to the Royal Bay Pool, which is like, it's actually the largest pool at sea, and they have in-water loungers for you to hang out on. They do have an adults-only retreat. What's it called? Not the Haven. It's not called the Solarium on this one. I think it's called Cloud 17. But it's its own private area. I believe you got to be 18 or older to get in there. Actually, Cloud 17, so maybe it's 17 or older. They have their own bar. They have food in there, and they have an infinity pool called the Cove Pool in there. So if you're like me and you like infinity pools, honestly, I can see my wife and I basically spending a lot of time in Cloud 17. Not that we don't love kids, but my kids are 26 and 24, so we're not going to be hanging out, with the little kids splashing around all the time. The newest neighborhood's called the Surfside neighborhood. It's at it's basically where all the kid stuff is. There's the Water's Edge Pool, the Splashaway Bay Aqua Park, the Adventure Ocean, Social O2O, Baby Bay, Playscape, and Carousel. That's basically all the kids areas. They also have, in the Surfside neighborhood, they have new cabin categories that are in Surfside, so that if you're there with your family, your Surfside cabin is right by all the Surfside neighborhood stuff, so that you're not far from your kids at any time. And it really, you basically roll out of bed, roll right into one of the pools if you wanted to. They really stepped up their game as far as cabin types. There's I want to say 17 different types of cabins on this ship versus like 10 or 12 on any other ship in the past. Another area that they've really outdid themselves is in the suites. Now, for those of you who've tried other cruise lines like NCL and Celebrity and some of those, they have this area of the ship that has a name, and it's like, what do they call it? Ship within a ship. So this particular area is just for people who are who have a suite and you have to show your key card to get in. Some of them have electronic doors, so you can't even get in without a card, your room card for being in a suite. And Royal was, I don't want to say their suites were lacking, but they didn't have that whole ship within a ship concept until the Wonder of the Seas. Now on the Icon, they've even stepped it up further. Now they've got the Hideaway. And the Hideaway is 3 levels, and all the suites are located within the Hideaway. They have their own bars. They have 2 different restaurants. They have their own suspended infinity pool at sea. Whirlpools. They realize that a lot of people want that peace and quiet. They if they're spending money on a suite, and they want a private area just for them, and Royal's accommodating. Of course, you're paying for it, but they're accommodating it, and I can't wait to see the Hideaway. I don't know that I would spend the money to stay in the Hideaway, but knock on wood, I'm going to be able to get a tour of the Hideaway because it sounds phenomenal. Any of you who have been on a Oasis class ship in the past, you all know about the Aqua Theater and some of the amazing, death-defying shows that they have there. Well, on the Icon, Carnival, oh my God. Royal has realized that they had to do something because too many times they couldn't do the shows because the Aqua Theater was outdoors. And if it's too windy or if it's rainy, if the conditions weren't almost exactly, perfect, they couldn't do the show that evening. So they stepped it up. And now it's not called the Aqua Theater, it's called the Aqua Dome because it's indoor. They've enclosed the whole Aqua Theater area. And they put it on the front of the ship instead of the back of the ship. So they moved it, they enclosed it. So now it doesn't matter what the weather's like. It could be, 12 degrees and, hail the size of golf balls could be coming down. And these people are still going to be, jumping off platforms 100 feet in the air and doing all that really wild stuff that they do. Now also what they've done is they realized that this space was somewhat wasted, when there wasn't a show going on. So when there's no show going on, they now have a waterfall. It's actually the tallest one at sea. It's 55 feet tall. That's going to be going on all the time. So you can go in and you can sit in there. You got beautiful, wrap around, like 200 some odd degree views of the ocean because you're right at the front of the ship. And you can just go sit there, have a bite to eat, have a drink, relax, listen to the waterfall, and just chill. So now that space will be used a lot more than just the 2 hours at night when the performers are performing. Like I said, there's a lot of new cabin categories. There's actually a ultimate family townhouse, which sleeps 6. It's got a bunk alcove for kids, a split bathroom design, an infinity balcony, and a living space that transforms into an open air escape. They're really, I'm really, really looking forward to seeing this ship. They've changed their propulsion method. Now they're using liquefied natural gas. I believe this is their first ship. All right, Elio, say hello to the camera. I believe this is the first Royal ship to use this technology, which has got a lot better, what's the right word? A much smaller carbon footprint. It's much more sustainable. So they're moving in the right direction for the health of our oceans and ocean life. Couple of the new food venues, Coastal Kitchen is one of them. Like I said, the gin and tonic swim up bar is not really a food venue, but the Grove is a new restaurant in the suites only area. They're changing Central Park. They're enhancing it. They really haven't given out a whole lot of details about how they're upgrading it. But they have said that they will be even more lush greenery and signature dining and music is pretty much all they've given us at this point. So that's really about it. Check out my my timeline. Check out my stories. I posted half a dozen photos of the ship. Couple of them are actual photos. A couple of them are renderings of what areas of the ship are going to look like. But you can book it now. I've already started booking people on it for January of 2024. They're going to be sailing out of Miami. Probably should have mentioned that. At least for the summertime, they're going to be doing Eastern Caribbean and Western Caribbean itineraries, alternating weeks. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions. Let me know, if you want me to book you on it. She's brand new, a lot of buzz. She's not going to be cheap. We're looking at, give or take $1,000 a person, $1,500 a person for a balcony and up, as of right now, they're running some deals, but nothing super impressive yet. I'm sure as she gets closer, we're going to be seeing more and more deals. So stay tuned. As I'm hearing about them, I'll put them out there for you. And that's about it. Hope you guys have a great night. See ya.